Hey guys, this is for your inequalities assessment that is tomorrow. It's a review over working out the equations, working out word problems, and just using the number lines to graph with. So we're going to do 2 of each of those. So this is what your test will look like tomorrow too. So let's look at this first problem. So I want you to write it down, pause it, work it out yourself, and see if you get the same thing when I finish it. So press pause and work out this problem. So what you should have done is subtract the 10 on each side. We have same signs here, so same signs, keep and add. Write down your inequality and your negative 12x. Now, I need to divide by negative 12, but when I do that, when I divide or multiply by a negative, that makes this inequality flip. And so instead of less than, it's now greater than. That only happens if the variable is negative. So if you look at a question, you can tell if you're going to flip the inequality or not, just by looking at the x. If the x is negative, then you're going to flip it. So you divide by 12 on one side, and that cancels it out, and you divide by negative 12 on the other side. Negative 72 divided by negative 12 is positive 6. So x is greater than positive 6. In order to do that on a number line, you would put a few numbers on the number line around 6. So I could do 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Since there's not the equal sign underneath that greater than sign, and we just put an open circle, because it cannot equal 6, it has to be anything greater than 6, and the greater than points you in the right direction with numbers that are bigger. All right, let's do the second one. So if you will, pause the video, write it down, and do this one on your own. You should have drawn your balance line. Then we're going to subtract 18 from each side. We're going to subtract 18 on one side. I'm going to subtract 18 on the other. I can't subtract 13 and 18, so I'll have to go to the side over here, put the bigger number on top. 8 minus 3 is 5. 1 minus 1 is 0. So that's 5, but it's a negative 5 because we keep the sign of the bigger number, which was the 18. Bring down your inequality and your x divided by 5. Notice that your x is positive, so there's no flipping of your inequality that's going to happen. So to get rid of that dividing by 5, we do times 5 to cancel. You times 5 on the other side. So x is less than negative 25. It's less than or equal to, my bad. So when I do that on a number line, since we're on the negatives, you gotta remember we go backwards. So like negative 24, negative 25, negative 26, negative 27, negative 28. Because the lower the number, the bigger the negative number is. So we are going to use a closed circle on this one because it has that equal to line right there. So it's less than or equal to. So it could equal negative 25 or anything to the left of it, which would be less than. So those are the 2 just workout problems. And then we have 2 word problems here. Jerome earns $300 per month plus $12 for each bike he sells at the bike shop. This month he wants to earn at least $500. How many bikes does he need to sell to reach his goal? So we're going to circle we're going to use our cube method. We're going to circle our numbers. So we're going to circle 300 and 12 and 500. Pause the video and see if you can make the equation before seeing how I make the equation. So we circle our numbers. We underline our question. How many bikes does he need to sell to reach his goal? We don't know how many bikes. So now we need to box our math words. That's $300 per month plus $12 for each bike. So we really have to decide which one are we multiplying here. Because the question is how many bikes does he need to sell? So he earns $300 a month, and this 1 month he's wanting to buy this bike. He needs to earn, at this month, he needs to earn at least. At least means that much or more. So greater than or equal to 500. At least 500. He already earns $300 plus $12 for each bike he sells. So the question is how many bikes does he need to sell? That's your variable. So the $12 for each bike plus the $300 he already makes for that month. Okay, pause the video and work out the equation. We're going to subtract the 300 to cancel on each side. 500 minus 300 is 200. And then we have 12b. We get rid of multiplication by division, so we're going to divide by 12 on each side. You actually have to divide that. So 200 divided by 12. 12 can't go into 2, but it can go into 20 one time. You'll have 8 left over. Bring down your 0. 12 goes into 80 6 times, which is 72. So you want to borrow from that. You get 80. Again. And then put your decimal 0. What's going to happen is you're going to keep getting 80, and you're going to subtract 72, and so on. So that will be 0.6 repeating. Now, I can't sell 0.6 repeating of a bike. So how many bikes can you actually sell? Well, 16 or more. Okay? Because you aren't going to sell that 0.6 repeating of a bike. Alright, next word problem. Ricky's Rafting Company rents rafts for $9 plus $4 per hour. How many hours can you rent a raft if you want to spend no more than $35? We use our cube method, where we circle our numbers. So 9, 4, and 35. Underline your question. How many hours can we rent the raft? Okay. Math words, we have plus, we have per hour, and we have no more than. All right, you know I like to start with what it all equals. No more than means not more than, so that has to be less than or equal to $35. You already know that it's $9 to get in there plus $4 per hour. Per hour means times the hour. So pause the video and work out your equation. You have to subtract 9 from each side. When you do that, you will get 26. It's less than or equal to 4h. Divide by 4 on each side. 4 goes into 26. 6 times, which is 24. The 2 left over. 4 goes into 25 times exactly. So, you know that you can rent the raft for 6.5 hours if they let you do it for a half hour. If not, it has to be 6 hours or less. So you will have several word problems on your test tomorrow, but you'll also have a few questions that just say, draw the number line. So you're going to have to say, okay, -7. So if I think about my number line, and here's -7, above -7 is -6 and -5. Below -7 is -8 and -9. If you don't draw the number line correctly, you don't get the question correct. So that is an open circle on -7 shaded left, because it's anything less than -7. Okay? Make sure you pause and do the next one. So what you should have written down, so let's say you have 1, 0, -1, -2, -3. Can be a closed circle because of that line underneath. So that is less than or equal to. So it can equal it or anything less. That's what your number line should look like. I hope you're ready for your test tomorrow. If not, you need to make sure you're on IXL practicing word problems like you did for homework last night, and that you are really getting to know those words and terms that mean your inequalities. Okay? Good luck.